What's going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of Joel Cupcake Live. I don't know why I do this every time. You know what you're watching. You know why you're here. You know what the fuck is going on. How we doing? Thanks for everybody that checked out that last episode with Calvin. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. We talk about his time in the Marines. We talk about, how it kind of led him from being like a born Republican into like a Democrat, some of the negative experiences he encountered in the Marines, and then just like a whole plethora of awesome shit. How much new metal rules, all sorts of fun stuff. Check that out if you haven't. If you like my Bowie sticker here that's on my microphone, I just updated the merch store. The link is in the description for all that. Per usual, drop me a like on all the social media platforms, or a follow and a sub here on YouTube. That'd be rad. I would appreciate it. My eye's a little sensitive today, so we're rocking the eye patch. I still have my Bell's palsy for those of you that aren't super savvy at following me on the internet. So sometimes I have to just kind of cover it up when it's sensitive, or just, being really abrasive, plus staring at a screen for so long is a little difficult, and I still really can't use the side of my mouth, if you can't tell from the camera. Anyways, today's guest, as you know, I brought it up 1,000 times on this show. I've been a promoter for technically 16 years now. I don't even remember how long I've known my guest today. I feel like I've watched him grow up. He's a great kid. Well, great dude, I should say. He's not a kid anymore. So I'm happy to have him on the show. I've had some pretty big names on the show. And as much as I like doing that, I also kind of wanted to go away from that, because this show is about me and about my friends, about the people I love and respect and enjoy having in my life. And Andy, my guest today, is one of those people. So Andy plays drums in a band called No Right. He is just like a solid ass dude. You've probably seen him around, whether it's on the internet, at a show, in a music video, what have you not. But let's get him in here. Andy, my man.
What's up?
There he is, Mr. Andrew Haut. How we doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. As you're one of my first formal straight edge guests, so this beer is for you, Andy.
Thank you. Water for me.
Water, beer. Cheers, baby.
Cheers. Let's go.
There you go. That's it. I'm drinking this. I know you don't care, Andy, but for people watching, this Golden State cider. It's actually really good. Like, a lot of the boozy ciders are either very sugary, like to the point where it's like I'm drinking a fucking melted icy with alcohol. I'm sure you can imagine, Andy, what that's like.
Totally.
Or it's like super just flat, and it's like the bottom of a bottle of apple juice. You know what I mean? Where all the flakes are. This one's like a good taste. So it's nice.
I recommend it.
Oh, dude, there you go. You got the blessing.
Yeah, you got the straight edge blessing.
That's that's a hard thing to get in life.
Yeah,
Andy. I may have been blessed with that straight edge blessing once or twice myself. You know what I mean? Usually it's revoked hours later, but every once in a while, I've gotten it a few times myself as well. So
yeah, you're lucky. A couple of your best friends are straight edge too, so they can just kind of hand it to you whenever you need it.
Yeah. Well, I also understand and respect it. You know what I mean? Well, and when I got the Bell's palsy, it was actually interesting. Like, the first 2 months I had Bell's palsy, I didn't drink at all. Which is probably the longest I've gone in recent memory without doing it. But I also I drink when I see my friends. I don't sit around at home and get fucking blackout, piss wasted. You know what I mean? I mean, you used to come over to the old house when we had the Ragers. It was a little bit different back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those were fun times.
But they were fun times. I was never it's never oh, Joel's gonna get drunk and fight somebody drunk.
Was that a thing?
No.
Okay.
I've never been that person, is my point.
Yeah, of course.
All I ever do is make really inappropriate jokes, or eat way too much food and then pass out for 12 hours.
That sounds like me not drunk.
Yeah. I was talking to Taylor Moria recently, and I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and I had an argument with them about the whole the whole in and out thing with the 4x4s and the limits and all the stuff now, right?
Wait, there's limits now? So
you can only order a 4x4.
Okay.
You can't order anything bigger, because when people figured out you could go order a 14x14, there was some kid I don't know if you remember the dude on YouTube that like he like got famous before his channel got shut down because he would go eat like copious amounts of food, like basically like how much of this food can I eat before I throw up?
Yeah.
So he ordered like a 20 by 20 or something like atrocious from In-N-Out Burger, and he ate the whole thing on camera and he threw up. But because of like, I don't know what, I don't remember. So I'm not gonna make it up. But long story short, he ended up in the hospital because of how much he was throwing up.
Yeah.
From eating this like 20 by 20. And like his parents tried to sue In-N-Out or some crazy, it was so long ago. I don't even remember the whole story. So now In-N-Out won't let you get bigger than a 4x4. You can order 2 4x4s.
Yeah.
But that's it. You know, you can't go like, I want an 8x8, you know? So we were on tour one day and like, you know, I was on tour with Moria back in when I was, you know, a wee lad, you know, and, you know, somebody challenged my, not my ego, like, you know, my fat guy pride. Andy, you're a chubby guy, you understand.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I bet you can't eat this in and out. And he was like, eat 2 4x4s and 2 things of fries. And I was like, that's easy. Well, joke's on me because it was easy, but I had been drinking all day. So like, all I remember, Andy, is like, I ate all the food. We took like the last day of tour picture. You know what I mean? The last thing I remember is me going, Taylor, I need Pepto-Bismol. And then he told me I passed out in the back of the van. And then I woke up 12 hours later on the couch at his parents' house. And his mom had like tea or something ready for me to drink, or like ginger ale, something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, whoa. And I wasn't even that drunk when I did the eating. Like it was like the end of the day. You know what I mean? So like I totally tapered off my and I was like, whoa, holy shit, dude.
But the 4x4s put you to sleep.
Dude, I was out, dude. It was like better than weed, man. You know what I mean? So
maybe I might have to try that next time I need to go to sleep.
Dude, and it's you know, you would think that the 4x4, some people are like, oh, that's too much meat, but like the way In-N-Out grills their buns, they always retain flavor. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's cheese and meat, so you're still getting all the different, you know, getting a variety of juicy flavors.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had anything more than a double, honestly, but I'll back you on that, sure. Well,
when the pandemic's over, Andy, I'll take you out for 4x4s. How about that?
Okay, that's fine. And I'll buy you those fries that I stole from you.
Yes. I don't even remember when that happened, but once upon a time, Andy stole my fries at In-N-Out, you guys.
So what happened was, it was after a show, and
of course,
yeah, we were all done with our meals, and I think you were going to the bathroom, and you're just like, or like you had a call or something. You're like, I'll be right back, Andy. You could have some of my fries, and obviously, what I took is I can have all the fries, and that's exactly what I did. And I don't think I've ever seen you more pissed off in my life.
It was probably. Do you remember? Did the show go bad?
I don't even know.
Because I'd probably lost a bunch of money, and then you ate my fries. So it was probably like
icing on the cake.
My vengeance was just coming out upon you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It probably wasn't even really what you did. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm a large man. If anything, you helped me by eating those fries. You know.
Sure, we could take it as that. I still feel bad for it.
Well, that's because you're a good person. That has nothing to do with anything else. You know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I promise next time fries.
Okay, I'm down. I got the 4x4. You got the fries. Perfect.
Bet.
Anyways, Andy. Okay, so you drum for No Right. For those anybody that doesn't know No Right, check them out. They're a. I hate saying this, but I still don't know the appropriate way to say it. You guys are a female-fronted hardcore metalcore band from the Bay Area, and everyone in the band is still straight edge, right? As well.
Yeah, everyone's straight edge.
Okay, I know you have like 1 or 2 new people from the last time I booked you in the band, right? I think.
Yeah, we just had the swap. We added Thomas, and then Tyler took off.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so never mind. I do know everybody then. So, but yeah, so straight edge like hardcore metalcore band from the Bay Area. They're awesome. They've been on a bunch of hard time shows, pen up shows. You play for some other people as well in the Bay locally. Like, you know, I know you guys you started doing some touring before, you know, COVID lit the world on fire. So, Yeah, and you're the drummer. How long have you been drumming for now, Andy? I always forget.
Oh, I think I was trying to think of this the other day. I think I started when I was like 15 or 16, so it's been a little more than 10 years. I think 11 or 12 at this point.
Yeah, yeah, because you and I became. I shouldn't say we became good friends until we've only become good friends like the last couple of years. But like you and I became, I would say, more than acquaintances in the Choose Your Character days, right?
Yeah, I'd definitely say so.
Yeah, like because you were in a couple of bands before that. So okay, so you started playing drums when you were like 15 or 16. So did you start playing drums in high school or before or junior high?
I think it was right during high school because I
Okay.
wanted to play guitar. But I think what happened was something happened to our guitar. I think like my guitar got like stolen or something like that. And
Oh
then at that
damn.
point, I was just like, I wanted to play drums. Everyone in my family played drums.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. So how it started really was, my mom had her brother. Her brother played drums in a huge band and was doing a lot of touring. And I think the last thing she wanted in the family was more drums. So like,
What are you allowed to say? What band?
oh yeah. He was in a band called Country Joe and the Fish.
Oh, okay. I've actually
Yeah.
heard of that.
So like they had the one hit wonder during the I think like the Vietnam War.
Okay.
But they played Woodstock. They played Monterey
Holy
Pop
shit.
Fest.
Holy shit.
They did some shit, which is cool. And yeah, so just her growing up, like she would always have like her brother playing drums at the house, and I'm sure she was annoyed by it as someone should be because it's a loud, annoying instrument. So
It's a lot
like
of annoying hobby. Yeah.
exactly. So like when I first like wanted to start playing music, my parents or like my mom was like, "Oh, let's get him on piano first. Let's try like guitar. Maybe we'll hit him with a little flute." And like the whole time I was just like, "I want to play drums."
It's
And
hilarious.
yeah, I saw like my uncle always played drums and one of my cousins played drums too. And I think
Damn, really?
finally, huh?
So damn, literally the whole family.
Yeah, straight up, the whole family like had drums, and it was all on my mom's side too, which is so funny. But
That's
like
hilarious.
finally, at like I don't know what happened, I don't know what gave, but she was just like, "All right, we'll give this kid drums."
I back that.
And yeah, that's just kind of how it was. I started playing. I just took lessons for like 5 years and just kept playing, having fun.
Now, did you start playing drums? Were you already like going to shows, kind of involved in the local music scene, or did that come kind of second? Second.
Um, it was almost at the same time, I think. When I got the drum set, me and my friend were like kind of trying to start a band, and we're just trying to like play music and stuff. And I think it was like I don't know when, but it was definitely around that time where I started going to shows. Like
Okay.
I think my first show was at the Regency, and after that, like I think we started our band. I can't remember like exactly what, but it was about the same time.
At the Regency, like
Yeah.
you're the first show you went to.
Yeah, the first show I went to was
Okay.
at Regency.
I was like, damn. I was like, you have. I was like, I didn't know you played the ballroom, Andy. Shit, dude. What are
No,
you doing?
we played the ballroom last year.
What show was that?
We turned over and turnstile.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys opened that because I didn't go.
Yeah, dude, that was a crazy unreal show.
Dude, that is unreal.
Yeah, like for like my first show to be at Regency and then like 10 years later to be playing like the Regency Ballroom is
Yeah.
just absolutely unreal.
Yeah,
With
that's
all my
actually-
friends there too.
That's so full circle, dude. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so what was your first show that you ever saw then?
My first show was Mindless Self-Indulgence.
That's sick.
That was a cool show. It was them and I think the Birthday Massacre. I think that was their name.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, big trip on that.
You just made me feel old as fuck bringing up those two bands. Like I already feel old.
Yeah.
But do you like my Bucky's koozie, by the way?
Yeah, that's sick. Bucky's is okay. This is dumb. This is dumb for me. This is a gas station, right?
Yes, I know you guys haven't gotten to spend a lot of time in Texas on the road.
We went to Texas twice, but I don't even think we've hit a Bucky's.
Dude, okay, well, first off, you're not a real band then. Sorry, I hate to tell you that. And I know Toshio and Sierra might get offended by me saying that. I don't care. You gotta hit the buck, dude. Like, okay, think about, you know how like when you're on tour and you're like, I want to stop at like the Pilot or the Flying J because it's like they have everything and it's usually the a little bit cleaner of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now think about that
Uh-huh.
combined with a Walmart, but everything has the beaver on it.
That's it.
That's a Buc-ee's, dude.
Okay.
It's like it's literally the nicest gas station you'll ever enter, ever. Period.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Are you vegan? I don't remember.
No, I'm not vegan.
Okay, because I just they have this thing that they sell. I don't even know what it is, but they're just called beaver nuggets. It's like coated in it's something coated in like I think caramel. Honestly, I don't ask questions. I just fucking eat them. But next time you're on tour in Texas, I know sometimes they're out of the way, like they're in between the cities. Like there's never like a Buc-ee's in the middle of Dallas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Trust me, you'll walk in and be like, this place is like a redneck paradise. You know, like. The buck is real, brother. That's all I have to say.
Okay, because I've always seen everyone with like Bucky shirts and
yeah. So like they have merchandise lines, dude. They have like bath towels, throw blankets, pillows.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously hoodies, hats, shirts, koozies. I have Bucky stickers like all on my car, on a water jug. Like everything in the house has Bucky's somewhere on it. You know what I mean?
You live by the buck,
dude. I fuck with the buck. You know what I mean?
Fuck with the buck. Let's go.
You know what I mean? So like, but like, you walk in and they have like regular food, and then they have all these snacks that are like just like the regular snacks you get anywhere else, but they're all named something with like a beaver, like beaver nuggets. You know what I mean? Like their standard snack is just a giant bag. It's just a Buc-ee's beaver nuggets, and then it's this motherfucker just all big on the front of it. You know what I mean? And out in front of every Buc-ee's, there's a fucking beaver statue of a beaver wearing a hat at like a 45-degree angle.
Okay, I think I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I've seen someone post like a tour photo there.
The Wolf King guys are like obsessed with Buc-ee's, and you know them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've definitely seen some of the guys there like taking photos.
Yeah, yeah. So and then like obviously me and Daniel DeFonts are both like obsessed with Buc-ee's as well.
Yeah.
So and I know you and Dan are friends online, so that could be it too. But yeah, but go to Buc-ee's, dude. It's so sick. Like it's like one of those like when we're in Texas, like even if it's 2 hours out of the way, I'll make Trina come with me to go to a Buc-ee's, dude. So damn. Just go. Okay. I promise. Yeah. I promise you.
The 2 or 3 times I think I've driven through Texas, I think we're always in a rush.
Yeah. Well, so, Texas is like, I feel like us West Coast folk, we don't understand like how big Texas is. Like it takes 18 hours to drive across the whole state.
Yeah.
or some nonsense like that, I think. You know what I mean? But especially like people are always like, why is there never, or like, why do bands take 2 days off between California and Dallas? It's like, dude, the amount of time it takes like, so like, cause my parents live just north of El Paso. You know what I mean? It takes 19 hours to drive from the South Bay to El Paso, and El Paso to Dallas is like another 9 hours.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize that. Like that's a literally a day's worth of driving.
So what happened? A band I filled in for, we did a tour. It was supposed to be like a 2 or like 3 week long tour where we were supposed to like go to a festival in Dallas. It was centered around a festival in Dallas, and then we were like go up north and play some shows, like get up to like Utah or maybe Montana, and then hang like left and go like Oregon, Washington, and California. But what ended up happening was like we didn't hear back like from the promoters or the guy booking the shows, and like a week before we were supposed to leave, we finally got like the routes, and it was like a show in Fresno, excuse me, a show in Arizona, and then like a day later, literally we had like an overnight to travel to Dallas to play a show. And then we were able to stay there for like a day, I think, and then we had to go straight to Vegas. But like we couldn't even stay there because we had no time.
Dude. I know that sometimes it happens, and I know being a booking agent isn't easy, but sometimes I see shit and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like even I looked at that and I was just like, I don't know about that.
Dude, I literally just talked about this. Was it on someone else's show or was it on mine? I don't know. But like when I toured with Arsonists, we did that tour that dies today. I don't know if you remember seeing that. Dude, the tour started. We had a show. So like the routing dates we had to book last minute.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a like shut up and take what you can get from the band's agent at the time.
Yeah.
Who I don't even remember who that was at the time. was it Dan? No, I don't think it was Stephon's. I don't know who it was. Doesn't matter. And we literally, listen to this, Andy. First show, Tahoe.
Okay.
Second, and there was no days off in between. First show, Tahoe. Second show, Nebraska. Third show, Buffalo, New York.
Is that one of the tours you went on too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Now, I have never started a tour that angry and drunk. Because, like, you literally, like, driving from Tahoe to Nebraska in a day.
Yeah.
And you go through, like, all the dangerous driving you can do. Because you have to go through Colorado and then, like, kind of up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we literally, it was like, we only ate gas station food for 24 hours because we didn't have enough time to get gas and then stop somewhere else for food. Like, it was that gnarly with like the go time. We literally showed up and Arsonist had to play on all of the local band's gear.
Oh man, just
because like that's how late we were to the show.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was like I was like never again, dude.
Yeah.
Never again. But then we spent 5 weeks on tour with It Dies Today, and that was tight.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is that the one that was with Structures?
No. So the Structures tour was before that tour.
Okay, gotcha. Because I think I had a laminate from that tour.
Yeah, that tour it was like Structures, Arsonists Within the Ruins, and I think Ion Dissonance.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I remember I had that thing, and I honestly I rocked it for a long time because I loved that. I loved all those bands.
Yeah. Structures, I don't know what happened, dude. Like that band could be. They would literally be like Silent Planet right now. Like if they were still around, you know, they'd be like that big. Like I know the music styles aren't the exact same between those two bands, but like they'd be, dude, like that, and they were the nicest fucking kids.
Yeah, like
I miss those guys, dude.
Yeah, same. I was so bummed though, because like when I was like really liking them, I think they only played one show in the Bay Area, and that was at the Refuge.
Yep.
And then every other show they were supposed to play here, like either their visas got canceled, like they couldn't get in because their visas, or they had van issues.
Yeah.
And so like the one show we were supposed to see him at was your show, that Veil of Maya. It was like, what was it? Veil of Maya, Here Comes the Kraken, Viljarta, and Structures.
Oh yes,
stacked lineup, absolutely stacked. And I was like giddy with joy at that whole lineup, especially Structures, because that was my favorite.
That was one of my favorite shows we've ever booked.
That was such a good show. And then like I think like 2 days before, Structures like had like van issues in Arizona or something. And I was and I was like, I was almost ready to cry, honestly, because I loved that band so much. And then then I was just like, please don't cancel, and they couldn't show up.
Yeah, that's why I was able we added a local. Do you remember who opened that show? We added a local.
Did you? I don't no, it was it Soothing Sound of Flight?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I remember that.
We added them because Structures was like, I knew they weren't going to make it because like I knew the guys, so they were like texting me like, dude, we're not going to make it. Like, I know the agent's acting like we will. He's like, we're not playing that show. I was like, motherfuckers, dude. I remember that show. Everybody was giving me shit because I booked it in the atrium. Like, do you remember that? Like,
I don't remember people giving you shit for that.
Well, so remember we did the last Bleeding Through show when they broke up
with Moria, right?
With Moria and Lionheart and Winds of Plague.
Yeah.
So I booked that in the atrium, and everyone was like, "Why the fuck are you doing that in the atrium?" And then do you remember I went on like a 2-year kick of like, I'm just gonna put all the big shows in the atrium because it's more fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with that Veil of Maya, Viljarta. I can never say that fucking band show. And I remember that show was so much fun.
Yeah.
And, like a lot of like the people that mosh too hard didn't come because it was all like tech bands.
Yeah.
So everybody just had a fucking good ass time. I loved that show, dude.
That was such a good show. I'm always a bigger fan of like smaller like spaces just because it puts everyone together. Because I don't like seeing shit like spread out. Like because like to defend you, like if you put it in a big room, like one, we don't know how many people are going to show up, and like two, like if enough people do show up, like maybe it might not even be like good because the room is so big.
Well, and I think I always try to explain to like the people that come to our shows that don't play music. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, so you're inconvenienced because I crammed 350 people into the atrium, but say the show only does 400 tickets in the big room. How do you think the band feels playing in a big room that's not even half sold out?
Yeah, exactly. And then like the band has to come out seeing that too. Like I love like getting on my kit and then seeing everyone just crammed together, and it's almost like an
Mhm.
illusion where it makes it look like there's more people too, and it just
Yeah.
gets everyone like more hyped.
It's just more fun. Like the
Yeah,
fucking, we're coming up on the anniversary of the last pinup show that we did, which is that fucking Terror Warrior show that
yeah.
you guys were on. Like, bro, that thing was fucking sold out. It was nutty,
Was it sold out?
Yeah, we sold that show out.
Oh my god, that was such a fun show.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely nuts. The Warriors popped off so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the only negative part about that show, and I know like you guys and Dare really got the brunt of it, was like we didn't have a chance to come in and check out the sound system ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so like it basically, like, no shade at the Vets Hall because I love working with Chris and those dudes.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't up to snuff with what we had told you guys and all the touring bands it was.
Yeah.
Because
also, you guys just weren't prepared for what was there, and also the room too. It
Yeah.
had been like what 10 years since the show had
Yeah.
happened there.
Yeah.
So like no one really like knows how it's
Yeah.
gonna go.
Well, I mean, I felt really bad for you guys and Dare because I could tell you were both really frustrated with like the sound issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes it's on the engineer, sometimes it's on the room, sometimes it's just shit just doesn't work sometimes. So either way, like the show was so fucking tight though.
Yeah.
And like I was glad you guys were able to play that. For us, because I know like I get a lot of stuff that I know that we're able to offer to you guys, and then like timing just doesn't work.
Yeah.
That show was just so much fun, and like you remember going to the Vets Hall back in the day, right? Like
I never went to the Vets
Oh,
Hall.
you never did? Okay.
No, because that was 10 years ago. That was right. I think that was right as I was like starting to go to local shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was for the rest of us, for us fucking old geezers, that was a really big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have like the Vets Hall back. So, yeah, Nick over at Hard Times and I, everybody knows Nick Bain. Like him and I worked so hard to make all that happen and work. And I'm sad that was the last show memory we have, but I'm also happy.
Yeah.
Because it was such a good show. Like we had young kids, old kids. There was no fights. There was no bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we had 500 people in that room, and there was not a single fucking issue. You know what I mean?
Sick. That's crazy.
It was, dude. It was.
Are we really coming up to a year? Is it a year now? It was like what was it? The 15th? I thought it could have been.
Was it? Today. Hold on. Let me open up a tab and look.
Oh Lord.
Because I thought it was like the end of February. Because you know what? Let me just look on my Instagram. Hold on. Because because the Wolf King show that we canceled was going to be the show after that.
Yeah. And
that was like March 12th.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, then it could have been. It might have been like the 18th or something. But we're close. Like it's days right now.
Yeah. Hold on.
Is there gonna, if once this is all over, is the Vets Hall gonna still be a thing?
From what I know, yes.
Okay.
They have not signaled any other direction to me.
Yeah.
Hold on, when was that fucking show?
Yeah. I mean, like, no one really knows what's going on right now, honestly.
It was February 22nd, so you were close.
Okay. So we're what, like, we're close.
Like a week away, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really the last time that was the last time I was at a show.
I think that's the last time I played a show. I think
you're right.
It was either that or because we played Washington, I think the week before or the week after.
I think you went on tour right after that show. So yeah.
I think it was just like we did a fly-in to Washington for a fest.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we did that, and I think that was it. Because
Yes.
we were supposed to do a tour going out to Texas. So we were supposed to play a fest with Gulch. We were going to tour with our friends in Soulblind and play some shows with a couple people, and then like it was literally the weekend of the lockdown.
Oh fuck, dude. That's
so we were so bummed because like at first like I was like because like my whole like my dad's side of the family's in medical. Like my dad knew we were going on tour, and he's just like, oh, I don't know if you should be doing this. And I was kind of like talking to the band, like, hey, like I don't think like we should be doing this. And like we all just kind of talked a lot. It was like a whole like I think it was like a week or two like thing of conversating like every day about this. And then finally it just hit, like the lockdown just hit, like can't go anywhere, can't leave, can't do nothing, no shows, everything canceled.
Yeah, like like that Wolf King show was supposed to be like March like 11th or something like that at the Vets Hall, and everybody was like psyched because it was like sick. We had a hardcore show. Now we have like a like a more like thrashy metal show at the Vets Hall. Like, oh, Vets Hall's back in full swing. That we made that show like $8 or something. Like we worked out a cool deal because the Vets Hall, like the new guy running it, his name's Chris. He's an awesome fucking dude. He's like, I want people to be here again. So for that Wolf King show, I was like, listen, I want to do a really cheap ticket so all like the thrash metalheads and like young kids can come, because like there's a lot of real young metalheads in Santa Cruz right now. And there's that Sepsis band that's been playing. I don't know if you've seen them around.
I don't think
they played a couple shows. They played like 1 or 2 shows at Pergs before Pergs shut down. They're all like 16, 17, 18. And I think the oldest one's 19. But like every time we booked them at the Catalyst, they like had to play their set and fucking leave.
Yeah.
So
because it was like a bar and
all that stupid nonsense, which I understand from a legal point, but it's stupid. And so I was like, they were on the show, and I was like, I want to make sure it's like cheap. I want kids to come check it out. I want people to know the Vets Hall's back as a home for like metal, punk, and hardcore, like all of it, Yeah. And so it was like an $8 ticket, dude. Like we knew the show was going to be hopping, and it was like every day it was like back and forth, like because Frankie works in the medical field too.
Yeah. And
he was like, dude, I don't know. And then it came down to this whole like, well, what if someone gets sick at our show and tries to come after us?
Yeah.
And then there was like the Vets Hall was like, well, we don't care. We have insurance. But like, then it was like the county was like, you're not supposed to have more than 50 people at a gathering. And we're like, well, fuck, dude. Yeah. And there's like every day it was like, show's canceled. No, it's not. Show's canceled. No, it's not. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then finally we were just like, no, we're just going to fucking cancel it. I'm glad we did in hindsight. You know what I mean? Because like we could have gone through with that, but there would have been probably at least like 200 people there. But who knows what that would have done with COVID, know?
Exactly. And that was like right at the beginning, because like no one really knew like what this was. Like we had an idea of it, but we didn't really get like the full scope of it, of how serious it was. Even this was the first time anyone's ever seen anything like this. So like just no one knew what was happening. It was just, I don't want to say chaos, but it was just a lot of confusion.
Yeah, it was terrible. And I feel bad for like all you guys that had the tour, like, and had tours canceled and stuff. And like, dude, like Acacia Strain was like, they're basically from Boston, more or less. You know what I mean? And then like they got fucking, their shows got canceled when they were in Portland. So they just had to fucking like drive home halfway through tour. Spite made it to like Nashville, and their shows got canceled, and they had to turn around and drive home.
Oh, they went out to Nashville?
I think so. Like they were like 4 or 5 days into their tour. You know what I mean?
That's such a bummer.
Yeah,
because I was just thinking it was a bummer for us, but like the people that are already out, like that sucks even more. Or especially like if you're like 1-2 shows in, like you just got some money for like merch and like maybe a guarantee or something like that, but like you having to go all the way back, like that's a bummer.
Dude, right? Oh god, I couldn't even imagine, dude. I just feel bad for them talking about it right now, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so we got way off subject, but as I told you earlier, I don't fucking care. It's my show. We can do whatever we want. So you saw those bands at Regency. Yeah. And then so you met some people in the local scene, and you started jamming, because you've been in like some metalcore bands, some screamo-y bands.
Yeah. I met a couple. I met some people. Like I met someone who brought me into the scene, and after that, I just started meeting other people, and just from playing shows and just going to shows, just meeting a bunch of people, and that's kind of what like influenced my music change. At first, like obviously, like Mindless Self-Indulgence isn't anything similar to what I'm playing right now, but that was kind of like what I was into. Like I was like the classic like Seenie Weenie kid. And like loved like Asking Alexandria and like Attack, all those bands. I mean,
at some point in time, all of us were some sort of scene kid. Like, Andy, I grew up in the like you wear the tight pants and the track jacket with the flannel underneath, and you swoop the front of your hair. Like that's how everyone did it. There was no such thing as like, maybe on the East Coast there was, but on the West Coast it wasn't like, oh, here's the one tough dude at the show that has a shaved head. Or like, here's the one top dude at the show with the short hair and the camo, but he doesn't dress like the rest of us. We all dressed the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could walk into a show and everybody, like, half the crowd was wearing the same Asley Dying Every Time I Die or Drop Dead Gorgeous. Do you remember when everybody did the fucking like the track jackets where it was like the turtleneck jackets that zipped up? Dude, that was basically my whole life getting into music, dude. Was that phase? Everybody did it, dude.
I don't think I ever did the track jacket, but I wish I did.
Well, you were a little young for that.
Yeah, I think so.
You should dude, No Right should do track jackets, bro.
I mean, we are an Adidas band, so I mean, we obviously we already fuck with it.
You know, I respect that, dude.
Yeah. Maybe we will. Let's see. I mean, I'm not allowed to wear anything but Adidas in this band.
Dude, you should just make a full No Right tracksuit, dude.
Yo, bet we'll do it.
I'd wear it.
I'll text Sierra right now.
Do it.
Okay, right now. Bet.
Do it on the episode. Hey, and tell her we need fat boy sizes because Joel wants one.
Of course. XL or 2X?
I'm XL in the pants and like 2 or 3X up top, dude.
All right, I'm 2X up top.
Because I got a Hank Hill butt, so I got no butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's flat. It's very flat, so I can squeeze into like XL pants down there.
Ooh, okay.
Which is kind of nice, actually, in a weird way. Like I buy 3X shirts and X pants. You know what I mean? Like. But. Well, that's tight. So, like, what, Choose Your Character is probably your first, like, notable band, right? Because that was, like, when metalcore and, like, the heavier stuff really started to pop off in our local scene, right? Yeah. I would say.
Yeah, that was definitely, like, the first, like, band that, like, was playing, like, a lot of shows and getting, like, I guess, notoriety? I wouldn't even say that, but, like, because it was just, like, at that point, it was just, like, all of our friends. Like, our vocalists, Paul and Alex, they knew everyone. They were already in the scene, like, and they just knew everyone, and that's kind of what it was for that band. Like, and that was me. That was introducing me to a lot more people as well too.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember. So like, there was like the San Jose Skate days where like it didn't matter. Like, when we did San Jose Skates and when Pen Up before my time, because I was never a supporter of the Battle of the Bands. That was always like. The company did that with other people. You know what I mean? Because like that was when it was still Arsenic and Pen Up like working together. Mm-hmm. So like I was never a Battle of the Bands guy, but from being around in those days that like all the bands supported each other of the different genres. Like everybody was just tight with each other, even if they didn't mosh.
Yeah.
And then we lost San Jose Skate, and then there was a lull period, and then we got the Refuge, and then it was like there was this time where like metalcore and hardcore just became so strong.
Yeah.
And then we lost the Refuge, and there was this like fumble period where it was like, oh, there's like that fucking music place on the east side. Yeah. And then there was like, we still had the venue a little bit. And then there was like fucking, the fucking warehouse where we had that. Remember we had that nutty I Declare War show upstairs in attic?
The attic. Yeah. I think we played. I think we played 2 shows there. I don't think we played the I Declare War show, but I played my last show with Choose Your Character at the attic.
You played there with Goliath, I think, right?
Yeah, it was Goliath because I remember they did the sick cover.
Yeah, that was the night where we had that whole incident where I fucking chased Christian in the parking lot and whooped his ass. Yeah.
I'll never forget that story. Toshio tells that story perfectly because of like you and him like making eye contact and him unlocking the door.
Yeah,
and you just getting out and grabbing.
Well, and it was just funny because Christian was like, he called me like a fat old man or something. Toshio probably remembers way better than I do. Yeah, and he was like, "You can't catch me." And then like Corey was like, "I bet he'll whoop that ass." And I was like, I wasn't gonna let Corey down. I was all hyped up because that show was fucking fun as fuck. You know,
and just everything that was happening at In-N-Out was just like chaos and fun.
Like there was always fun at In-N-Out post show, but I think that's like one of like the top 3 like post show hangouts, I would say.
Yeah,
because there was just like almost like the whole show showed up, dude.
Yeah,
like there were so many of us. We were fucking dicking around in the parking lot. I fucking chased Christian down. We were both shirtless.
Yeah,
like Christian was like scared for his life when I tackled his ass, dude.
I don't think I'd ever seen either of you two run so fast in my life.
Yeah. You know, I was just like, you know, he thought he was being cute, putting the old man on blast. You know, like all you young whippersnappers like to do that a lot with me, and I think he just finally pushed the button too far. You know what I mean?
I think that was like in his like that was his peak of like the assaulting days where he would just like pour salt on people's shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like peak, like him, like his
And
ego was at like an all-time high with
Corey
that.
from Goliath, bless his soul. You know, he's Mr. Shit Stir. You know what I mean? So he's like over there, like, yeah, fuck him up, Joel. Fuck him up, Joel.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, Christian, he can't catch you. Christian, he won't do anything to you. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
I didn't know he was like that.
Oh yeah, dude. He was totally like, yeah, I want to see this shit happen, dude. So it was hilarious. That was such a good night, dude. That was so much. And then we were in that In-N-Out parking lot forever, dude.
Yeah,
Just like hanging out.
yeah, that was honestly a great time. Just like that, I think it was just like that like moment in time where it was just like In-N-Out shows or like In-N-Out like post show stuff was like the most popping thing. Because I'll remember like that one, and like I think there was one with like Bermuda too. Like in San Lorenzo, where like we took up like that whole In-N-Out.
Yeah, so there's like 3 shows that really ring a bell to me, and it's like that one we talked about after the attic.
Yeah.
The San Lorenzo one actually that you just brought up, and then do you remember the night that I had Scarlet Ruse and Triumph Over Shipwreck come through from El Paso?
Oh yeah,
and then it was just like
all the homies.
Yeah, because like I think was Helm's Deep already a band then? I don't remember.
I think so.
I think you guys played that, right?
I don't know if I played that. No. I think Peacemaker played. Was that at the print shop?
No. This was in San Jose.
Oh, this is in San Jose. Okay, I don't think I played with Helm's Deep at that show then.
Maybe it wasn't Helm's Deep because it was. Oh, you know what? I think Eighth Year played that show because it was with Molotov. Remember?
Okay, gotcha.
But like after that show was just a fucking like all my friends from the east, from like the Southwest were there. You know, because you had fucking Scarlet Ruse and Triumph Over Shipwreck were there. One of the dudes from Barbarian was on tour with Triumph.
Yeah.
So it's like all my homies from out there were there. And then like, you know, all the old dudes came because everybody knew Scarlet Ruse and Triumph guys from touring. You know, so like all the Moria and Arsonist guys came and hung. It was tight, dude. Like those three are like in the modern times, back in the Arsenic days when I had that apartment. So like you didn't know me back then, but like Steve Dean and I, who was the guy that played bass for Moria. Yeah. We had an apartment above a storage complex in Santa Cruz. So after 5 o'clock at night, we were the only people in the whole complex. Yeah. So it was like an on-site manager's office that they converted into an apartment with a shower. Okay. So after 5 p.m., we had no neighbors. So like we would literally like hundreds of people sometimes after the shows would come mob to our house, and we would just rage everywhere.
You know, thinking about it now, I think Choose Your Character might have played that.
You know what? I think you guys did.
I think we
because Alex like loved Molotov.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
someone in your band was really wet over Molotov. I remember.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Alex.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we played that show. That was a good show. There were so many shows. Like we played shows like it's crazy to think this. Like we played shows almost like every weekend or every other weekend, and it was all in the Bay Area. Like whether it was San Francisco, like I think we did one in Half Moon Bay and like Cupertino. Just like there was one summer where we were just playing shows consistently.
I remember that because you guys were the band where I was like I loved you and Paul. Yeah. And like I got to know Alex really well from that, but you guys were the band where I was like, dude, I can't book you all the time if you play all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was like you telling me that was like the second wave. Like there were 3 waves of fuck pinup, and like that was like the second wave when everybody thought I was trying to be a dick. And I'm like, dude, we don't have any venues. Like you don't understand. Like I can't just keep throwing money at every warehouse that will let me put on a show. Yeah, you know. So I was very like. Dude, I want to book this band, but you play too many shows, and then people were like, "Oh, well, you don't want us to have fun," which was like, I got it from the band perspective, you know, but like, you know now more because you have been around long enough, and also you understand how expensive it is being in a band. Yeah, you also see how expensive it is for the promoters now. Back then, nobody cared what it cost me. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I don't hold that against anybody, you know. Yeah, and like I do what I do because I love it. So it's like, but it was like, I remember that, like, but it was also cool because that was still like, I feel like when you guys were still a band, that was the very tail end of like there was like 6 scenes in the Bay, you know,
Yeah.
like the Salinas scene, the Santa Cruz scene, the San Jose scene, the East Bay scene, and like the Peninsula scene and the San Francisco scene were all different, and it was all okay.
Yeah.
So like you could go do stuff like that, and you weren't playing to the same people.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all the same people.
Yeah. I think that was also because, like, just thinking about it now, like, at that time, like, a lot of people that were kind of going in the scene, like, a lot of us didn't have, like, cars or licenses, even at that point. Like, I had just gotten my license, and I had just gotten my first car, which was a minivan.
Yeah.
And I used to stack.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
we were just talking about this, like, a couple days ago, like, how I would stack, like, I think I stacked, like, 13, 14 people, like, in my van.
Yeah.
And we would just send it to shows. I was like a taxi. I was an Uber pool.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I think that was nice about those days, Andy, was like, you know, you guys were Choose Your Character. You were from San Jose. But then, like, we had 5 characters from the Peninsula. And then there was Wig for Death from Fremont. And then, like, you know, there was, like, the Walnut Creek band. So, like, there was literally, like, little pocket scenes everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, but now it's like, you know, every band, all the members are from like the 4 corners of the Bay. Well, 3 corners of the Bay because no one's from the North Bay.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Ernest and all my peeps in the North Bay if they're watching this, you know, but no, that's too far.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
Like nobody from the South Bay wants to be in a band with a dude from the North Bay. So
yeah.
You know, now that's normal. Like, oh, we have a member in Santa Cruz and a member in Oakland and 3 members in San Jose. Now that's normal, but back then that wasn't okay.
Yeah. I think No Right was... No, it wasn't, because so Sierra lives in SF, but my band before that I was filling in for, everyone lived in Fresno, and I lived here in San Jose.
Which band was that?
Dependence.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think it was like almost once a week or once every other week, I would drive my ass to, I think it was either Fresno or Merced, and we would just jam. I know it was Fresno because the guitarist Zach lived there, and that's who we practiced with. Yeah, so I would drive my ass to Fresno like once a week.
Yeah,
and we'd practice.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that low key sucked.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I had to drive before COVID happened. I had to drive to Fresno twice a month for shows, and just that I was like, nope.
Ugh, yeah, no thanks.
Hard pass, dude.
It's crazy how I'll like totally be like, yeah, like I'll drive to LA for a show, or like I'll drive to like Oregon for a show. Let's do it. And then someone tells me Fresno. I'm like, we'll think about it.
Yeah, you're like, ooh. I'm like, to me, I'm like, okay, there's a Del Taco out there. Like, I guess I'll go. Like,
yeah.
But if Fresno ever loses that Del Taco, I don't think I'm ever stepping foot in that town again.
I don't think I've ever eaten that Del Taco though. I think it was the rallies there. That's what we fucked with.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, I respect. I was gonna yell at you, but I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't think I fuck with Del Taco. You can hate me for that. I don't care.
It's okay. I don't. The last couple times I've gotten it, I've gone out of my way to get it. Like either when the girlfriend and I are road tripping somewhere, or like when I'm traveling, and they've really disappointed me.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. That sounds like Del Taco.
Yeah, it sucks because that used to be my spot, dude. That place was my jam.
They had the one in Watsonville, didn't they?
That's still a really sensitive subject. Okay, they just closed without telling anybody.
Really? So much pain.
Dude, I used to love living in Santa Cruz and going to shows in Salinas because I got Del Taco every single time. And it was so worth it.
And it was from that Watsonville spot, huh?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. I remember for a while we were like, oh, let's try to do. We were trying to do shows in Watsonville. Like we almost had a spot worked out, and I was like, fuck yeah, Del Taco. And then they closed, and I was like, no, we don't need to do shows in Watsonville.
I remember. I think you guys had. Oh man, I think you like Wolf King played in Watsonville.
Yeah,
it was a Wolf King show that I saw there.
Yeah, it was one of those Devastation on the Nation tours.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't think the Cryptopsy one was Catalyst, so it was maybe the Decrepit Birth one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the flyer saying Watsonville. I was like, what? Like, where?
Exactly. Exactly, Andy. But well, fucking that's tight. So you know, you've been in Choose Your Character. a couple other metalcore bands, and then you did Dependence, and then that's how you ended up in No Right, right? I've never actually asked the question because like I know all you guys and girl, but like how did you guys decide to start No Right? Like how did that? I'm actually not privy to this information, and I feel bad because I literally feel like I watched you and Toshio grow up. So,
so what had happened was, so I think I was, me and Toshio, obviously we all played in bands together. Like me, and I had Toshio hop into Choose Your Character, and then we started doing Peacemaker, and then Peacemaker stopped happening. And
I missed that band, by the way.
Yeah, same. I know, you and me both. But Toshio and Sierra were friends, and Sierra really wanted to start a band. And I think she just came to Toshio at one point because he was obviously like, he was just making random stuff, recording stuff. And I think we had just put out like Handy Andy Band or something like that. We were just putting out like joke songs.
God damn it, I remember that, dude. Yeah. That stuff was so funny, dude.
So we were just like having fun, just posting random stuff. Toshio just doing what he does, writing sick shit and just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And Sierra just like, I think just hit him up one day and she's just like, I want to start a band. And Toshio's just like, all right, down. So they started the band together. I think they had asked me to do it, and I think I'd said no at the time.
Okay.
So they had their core members were Tyler, Sierra, and Toshio. They were all in the band together. They had the one song come out, did really well, and I think they did a show or two with different drummers, and they didn't have like a set drummer yet because I don't think they had a drummer that was straight edge.
Okay.
Yeah, so they didn't have a set drummer yet. So they hit me up for like one show. Like Toshio was just like, hey, like, can you just please play the show with us? And like he was my friend, so I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm down. And I think he had known like if I play the show, I'm probably going to be in the band because I don't think I was.
I feel like you and Scobie are the same way with that.
Yeah. So like
Scobie, like
yeah, from Helm's Deep in Moria.
Yeah, like everybody ends up hitting up one of the two of you guys for like every band.
Yeah. And I played the show with him, and like I think it was just that night. He was just like, you just want to play in the band? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So I mean, at first it was really just like Toshio and Sierra just like writing stuff, having a good time.
Yeah.
And then like it just kind of just started going. Like we didn't have like an official thing. We just wanted to like play shows and have fun and like possibly tour on it if we could, because we were all doing like at the time like we were all full-time school and or full-time work, so like we had no intention of really doing anything but just to have fun and play music.
Well, I mean that should always be the intent.
Yeah, of course. And I mean it's still the intent even though we haven't played a show in a year now.
Well, no one has, so it's fine.
I know. Well, some people have.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to get me on a tangent, Andy, and we both know when I go off, it's not good.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm on camera. So, nice try, though. Yeah. Nice try, Mr. Haut.
Damn it, so close.
So close. So close. I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to have this discussion from your perspective. Well, from a guy's perspective.
Yeah.
So I completely understand the argument of female fronted is not a genre.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to a band called The Distillers and a band called F-.
Mm-hmm.
F- was actually a thrash punk band that was completely filled with women.
Yeah.
And Distillers, obviously, I'm pretty sure most people know who they are at this point in time. That was a punk band fronted by a woman.
Yeah.
And so to me, women in music was always seldom but normal. And now there's this, I feel like, a couple of years ago, there was the whole like female fronted, like it was like, how do I say this without, I don't want to sound like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was like the thing to support a female fronted band.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like that term became a genre. And I know that like you're in a band with a female member.
Yeah.
And female fronted is not a genre. I don't believe that at all. You know what I mean? Because music is music and people are people.
Yeah.
So like do you have any thoughts on that phrase or that whole kind of like movement? Like obviously it's good that people were supportive of women in bands and women, especially being the front person in a band.
Yeah.
Obviously that's okay. But like, I know you have to ask someone who's kind of. I prefer to get have these conversations with people who've like lived through it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we don't need two white people to talk about Black Lives Matter. What's the fucking point of that? You know, like just like, you know, you're in a band with a female singer, so I'd rather ask someone in the band's perspective of like kind of how that is or has it ever been blown out of proportion? Has it ever been like, you know, is it like has anything shitty ever come of that to you guys or like anything like that?
We've heard some, like, there's been a couple people that have actually like given a shit, like kind of in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just because like they're female fronted, like they're getting this, and like
So
they,
stupid.
yeah, some people would use it as like a derogatory thing, but I mean, from the start of it, like we're not really a fan of that term, because once you give something a name, it kind of puts it kind of sets it aside almost,
Yeah.
not aside, but like it gives it its own separate thing.
Well, it's like that becomes the focus, and the focus
Yeah.
is not that you have a female singer. The focus is just that you're a fucking sick metalcore band.
Yeah, exactly. And like and Sierra was just like she just always wanted to do vocals. That's all she wanted to do. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't care that she was a female or anything. Like, that's what she wanted to do. And
Exactly.
like, that was the point of it. Like, so like obviously like we're not really a fan of it just cuz it's not what we are. It's just us making music, and I don't think it really matters who is in the band or who or what they decide to choose to what they decide to claim themselves as.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day,
it shouldn't. You're making music, and that's it.
At the end of the day, we're here to play music. We're here to have fun, and that's what music is.
Yeah, like something that's always kind of bummed me out, like from my perspective of like, like I guess like I've always been like the person observing the scene in a different way than everyone else. You know,
Yeah.
like I hate how there's been like all these like cliques or like what's hype and like, you know, like hardcore and is derived from punk music, and punk music is all about being different.
Yeah.
So like you shouldn't strive to be accepted in a scene that's supposed to be built off being different. Does that make sense? Like, am I explaining that in an okay way? Like,
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So it's like, you know, whenever I have people that are like, oh, well, this band's tight because like, you know, not all the dudes are white, or this band's tight because they have a chick in the band, or this band's, oh, dude, have you seen this band? Like, they have a black singer that's so different, and I'm like, so, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, the band is sick. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like if you played old Killswitch Engage for somebody and they were like, this is fucking rad, you should never have to include, the singer on this record is black.
Yeah.
Like, because does it fucking matter? No, it does not matter. Just like it doesn't matter that Sierra associates herself with being a female.
Yeah.
You know?
We get messages sometimes like, yo, for a girl, like, you're sick.
That's oh god, that's so
and like
rude,
we would just
dude.
hear stuff like that, and we're just like, come on, like, seriously.
Like, you know, like a good vocalist is a good vocalist, and a bad vocalist is a bad vocalist, regardless of like how they identify themselves. Like, that's such a
exactly. Yeah, like I said before, at the end of the day, we're all playing music. Doesn't matter who you are. Like, we're here to play music and have fun.
Dude, exactly, Andy.
Yeah,
exactly. Fuck, man, that was like I'm glad we were able to talk about. You know, like me, I explain shit. I'm like a boomer. And sometimes I explain shit in really dumb ways that makes me come off like an asshole, or like I'm fucking stuck in the past. So I'm glad you understood what I was asking you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So,
thank you.
Because that's not an easy question to ask without coming off almost like you're sounding like misogynistic, which you know I'm not. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I know I'm not. So, anyways, okay. I wanna do, before we wrap the show up, I want to do something fun with you, Andy. So, what is your favorite memory from growing up in our scene? And it's okay if that memory is not a pinup show. Okay. I'm not trying to put you in the hot seat to stroke my ego. Don't worry. Like,
honestly, it's just been like just in the moment of playing shows. I think that's always just been like the most fun I've had. Like, I've always just felt like those like 20 minutes of playing, I've always felt like just almost free in a sense. Like, where I can just like whatever's happening like outside of the music scene, outside of me playing music, like I can just focus on playing drums and having a good time, and nothing else that's happening in my life is like bothering me.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of like where it is. Like, I don't really have like a single moment. Like, I do have a bunch of those memories of like going to In-N-Out with the guys in Goliath after shows,
of course, yeah,
or band practices and just meeting new people, hanging out with everyone, going to shows and watching bands. But like for the most part, just playing music was just the most fun for me.
That's good. That's tight. Dude, I like that. I like that. I like that answer.
Thank you.
You're a good dude, Andy.
Aw.
Okay, so what is... I didn't prepare you for this, so I'm really
Oh,
sorry.
boy.
This is fucking you up.
Uh-oh.
What is your favorite show you've ever played?
Okay, so
In any band.
yeah,
I'm not talking no right.
yeah,
Exclusive.
yeah. Can I do two shows?
Of course.
Okay, so it's two different shows. So like the Turnstile Turnover show that we played last year was probably like my favorite, most memorable show because like it just meant so much to me to just end up there, like we said, like going full circle and playing there, especially playing with Turnstile and Turnover. Turnover is like my absolute most favorite band. Love them to
sick.
death.
Okay.
And that was my first time even seeing them too. I don't know how that is, but
Yeah, that's because even I've seen that band and I don't listen to them.
yeah, and I'm absolutely in love with them still to this day. But like seeing them playing there, just everything coming full circle was awesome, and like all our friends were there to like gas us up, and just having all of our friends there was such a great thing. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't one wrong thing with that night, which made it so great. So that's definitely a favorite. And then like we played in this band called Street Sharks, where it was just like, yeah.
Yes, I remember.
So where it was kind of like Handy Andy Band. If someone doesn't know what that is, it was like a band that we just have multiple vocalists on different songs.
Yeah.
And that's what Street Sharks was. Like we had different vocalists on different songs. And it was I don't want to say it was a joke band because it wasn't a joke and it was like fun, but it was like we were meant to have fun with it and it was meant to be a good time. So we played a show at oh my god, the Satanic Library, or the what's the library in, not Pergs, it's
Sub Rosa?
Sabrosa, thank you. I don't know why I was spacing out on that, but we played a show at Sabrosa, and like
Isn't it an anarchist book cafe? Isn't that what they technically call themselves?
I think so. I don't want to say anything.
I grew up in Santa Cruz, and I should know the answer to this, and I don't, so I'm kind of embarrassed. So let's just keep going. Just keep talking.
Yeah, but that was definitely a favorite too, just because like it was. I mean, the room is as big as like my bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, and we just stacked so many people in there, and that show was just like a good time. And that set, like our idea, the whole, like as we were practicing and like coming up to the show, it was just like we were here to have a good time and to enjoy it.
Okay.
And that was definitely a big one because it's just like everyone packed in, everyone having a good time. Like no one gave a shit. We were just out there having fun.
I like that.
Yeah. So those two definitely. There was the first one because of like how far I guess I've come, I guess, and the second one being because I didn't give a fuck whatsoever.
Which is kind of important sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of, yeah, exactly.
Okay, tight. Now I'm going to ask you the selfish question, because I highly doubt I'm going to have anybody on the show that's played more pinup shows than you.
Uh-oh.
What's your favorite show that you ever played for me? Whether it's because of your set was tight or the band you played with or whatever, you know.
I got to think of. I think I got to think about that because it's been a minute since we played like a pinup show.
Well, it could even be choose your character. It could be fucking
yeah. I think when we played it in Ecophagy, I think that Ghost and show we played, that was really fun. That show will forever be one of my favorite memories of like pinup. Yeah, that one, like, I was, like, absolutely crazy nervous for, because I think that was my first big show. And that was also my first show with Ecophagy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it was at the Metro, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was at the Metro.
Because remember, we were trying to do it at the Refuge.
Yeah, and like that was as the Refuge.
Yeah, my dumb ass was like, let's just have Ghosts at the Refuge. Well, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? That was when I was in my crazy, like, biggest show, smallest room. Yeah. Let's do it.
I think that, like, everyone knew, like, I think we all knew, like, the Refuge fate at that point. And I think we all just knew, like, okay, this Ghost Inside show is going to for sure be, like, the last show ever there.
No, it was so that was when Spotty still worked with Pinup.
Yeah.
You remember Spotty.
Yeah, of course.
And it was just him and I at that point in time. And I think maybe like Frankie or Justin was around. Mm-hmm. But Casey wasn't really around then. Like, he had just started helping us. Like, it was still me and Spotty and Allison and myself doing everything. Yeah. And I remember we had the conversation, like, we already know we're on the verge of losing the refuge. Let's just do Ghost Inside, and that's how we send the room off. That's literally what I wanted to do. Like, I don't remember how I promoted the show, but I remember in my head, I was like, I want to send the refuge off in the craziest way possible. The church might hate it, but like, I mean, the scene, those of us that were around those days will never forget that place. But like, I wanted to send it off like in style. You know what I mean? And that would have been just like fucking bonkers, dude.
Because I remember, I definitely remember that. I don't think anyone really promoted it as the last refuge show, because like obviously none of us really knew, but like all of us knew when we saw Ghost Inside, and he was Zabalba and like Reign Supreme at the refuge, and that was like that was a prime for like Zabalba too. Zabalba was popping at that point, and they were absolutely like crazy heavy and just terrifying to see. Like
terrifying, yes,
and like just seeing that at the refuge was just like this that's it. Like this venue is going to be torn down.
Well, that was kind of our plan. Was just like, this is the last hurrah. And then remember, we had that 4th of July show a couple of weeks before.
Oh yeah,
and
it was like,
and I'll say it. Leaders shooting off fireworks in the parking lot was the last straw. The only Christian band left in our scene got the church venue shut down.
Was it the fireworks that did it?
That was the last straw. So like, all the boys, we're not going to say who, because you and I both know, didn't listen to me, and they were drinking on the street in the neighborhoods. So that was a complaint. That was the like, that was where we were getting most of the issues. Okay.
Yeah.
So was that the kids, I was saying, don't drink on the refuge property because you'll get in trouble. I was trying to, I can say this now because I don't care. I was trying to encourage people to drink in the parking lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Not the refuge.
Yeah.
But all the homies took that as, oh, we'll go drink on the street. Like, no, dude, don't drink in front of people's houses. Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, and so that was already kind of like the issue. There was the show. Do you remember the show where fucking Sopo shoved Chewie by his throat against the wall and dragged Mikey out the hallway and shattered all the fucking communion plates on the wall? Do you remember that?
What?
So I don't remember what show that was, but it was like one of those like big like San Jose versus Salinas blowouts. It was like the last big one.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude. And so that was like, that had been like a year prior. And we hadn't really done a big show since then. Because like Mark, the guy that ran the refuge, and I were like, let's just keep everything chill. Let's like under the radar with shows. Like, let's not have anything huge. You know what I mean? And then like, so the neighbors were complaining about the kids drinking. And then there was just like, that was when Pinup kind of started to fall apart. Like, it was literally just Spotty and I. So it was like, that was when I was like asking like you and Toshio and everybody, like, can you help out with the show? You know? So I think the fact that it wasn't structured and we weren't using real licensed security guards, because you remember all the security guards ended up being assholes or creeps, you know? Yeah. So I had to keep firing the security guards. Like, I'm not going to let those people around the fucking people that are there to see the shows. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so it was all that. But then, so that night there was 2 incidents. There was leaders shooting off fireworks in the parking lot. And that was the night that, like, that girl, like, some girl stuck with some girl's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And the girl keyed the other girl's car.
Yeah.
And didn't realize the girl was in the car. So the girl backed up and hit the chick while the chick was keying her car.
Yeah.
And then, like, peeled out and tried to take off. And everybody blocked her off. And it was like, dude, you hit this girl. You can't just leave the scene. Like, yeah, she was keying her car, but like, what the fuck, dude? And like, I'm inside running the show by myself because like we didn't have a sound guy that night.
Yeah.
So I was running the sound.
Yeah. I think it was between shows too. So obviously everyone was already outside.
Yeah, it was between sets. So like I'm inside trying to run the sound for like the last like band or two, and this pops off, and then somebody runs in to get me, and I'm like, oh my holy shit, dude.
And then it was like right after that, like someone lit off fireworks.
Well, yeah, so there was like one firework got lit off, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
It was literally right after the King car incident.
Yeah, and then we went inside for Alcatraz and Lionheart.
Yeah. And
then they played, and then there was a big fight during Alcatraz, but it chilled out. It was fine. And then maybe that was actually the show. Maybe this all happened at the same show. Now that I think about it.
Like all this that you're talking about?
with the plates being broken. On
Oh,
the
I don't know
wall?
if I don't know if the plates were on the same show
Maybe
because
maybe it was.
I don't remember that.
Okay, then never mind. Anyways, not the point. And then so the two bands played, and then we went out in the parking lot. I'm like, all the bands just started drinking together in the refuge parking lot. And I was like, guys, like, you need to chill out. And I would go back inside, and they would just start doing it again.
Yeah.
And then they let off more fireworks together. And then that was pretty much it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, but Leaders was the first band to light off the fireworks. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm surprised you're even calling out the band too.
I mean, I love Laz and Jonathan. Like, those are two of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Jonathan's a fucking Republican, and everyone knows that follows him.
Yeah.
And like, he's still I still love the dude. I respect him. Like, when all the stuff has been going on over the last 2 years with Trump, like, it was never once like, you're a crazy leftist. Like, he would legitimately have conversations with me about it.
Yeah.
You know? So I can appreciate that. He might not like that I'm saying this on the show, but I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, he's still a really religious guy, and I respect that. And we've had some really awesome intellectual conversations about it. You know what I mean? And I'm still cool with him and Laz. Some of the other members of that band I am not cool with, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But like, him and Laz are the two main people that I associate with Leaders these days. And like, I love them. Obviously, like, Alfie was in the band for a little bit. Like, I worked with Call Sign after Leaders broke up a ton.
Yeah.
You know, like, I got nothing but love for most of those dudes. So like, I'm not I'm calling them out, but who cares? You know, it was a lifetime ago, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And they were just trying to have fun. I can never hate on someone, especially if they're my friends, for having fun. You know?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
And Jonathan, you know, to touch on that other issue, because I don't want to start any bullshit, anything I just said. Jonathan is not a Trump supporter, but he is a conservative. And that's what we were talking about, was like, I wanted to hit up somebody like, because as we've all come to learn, Andy, they have their own media. Like, conservative people have their own media.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer the same. So I was like, what are you seeing? Like, what is like the conservative Christians seeing about all the current world events versus what I'm seeing? And it was very interesting, man. It was such a crazy dynamic conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But tight. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for answering my ego question. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. Always happy to fill your ego up.
Well, oh, stop that. That was not what I meant. What do you think? What was the best venue in the Bay that we don't currently have?
Whew.
Or maybe not the best, but like, what was your favorite? Let's put it like that.
I think it was either the Refuge or even the Venue. Or no, like the Refuge, the Venue, San Jose Skate, like all three like meant a lot to me.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are all such great shows. I just remember like at the Venue, like since it was like in the back, it was behind the high school.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't anyone like watching us or anything, so we could just kind of hang out, have a good time, and get a little chaotic, but nothing too crazy. And then the Refuge was just like, I guess you could say, a staple. And it was just like we had shows there like every week, and it happened, and it was just like popping.
Yeah.
So like probably those three, if not like the Refuge, because that was like the prime for me for going to and playing shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there. I was there every week.
Yeah. Well, we all were.
Yeah.
So tight. Awesome. Okay. Well, you know what, Andy? I think it's time for our exit questions.
Oh boy.
We're gonna get ready to wrap it all up.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, what is your favorite color?
Probably black. Black.
Sick.
Yes.
Sick. You're so metal, Andy. You're so metal.
Black or pink.
I respect both of those answers.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, tight. Second question. Actually, this is usually like one of my last questions, but I'm gonna ask it now.
Mm-hmm.
What is, whether they're your homies or not, what's like an underappreciated or an up and coming or a new band that you're real hooked on that you think everybody should check out that watches the show?
That's such a good question, because I mean, like all these bands that like in the Bay Area that I've seen, like are like Extinguish. Like Extinguish is a great band that I've really enjoyed listening to. Even just like our friends in Jawstruck, Scowl, Scal as well. I mean, there's so many bands that we're friends with that like not just because they're our friends, but like they're all putting out such good music.
Yeah, there's so much good music coming from the Bay right now. I love it, dude.
Yeah, it's
like,
insane, and so
it's
many
like,
people.
it makes me. I want to say it makes me proud, but I
Yeah.
don't know so many of these people putting out this music. So
Yeah.
like that might trigger some people if they think I'm proud of them because they don't. They had nothing to do with me and vice versa. But like, I love the Bay Area. You know that. Like this will always be my home.
It's all from the Bay, which is so sick.
So sick, dude.
Yeah, like you see, like Drain and like Gulch, like and like Tsunami are like all like bands that are really like kind of put the Bay like on the map and like are able to like bring these like up and coming bands and like bring them up and like almost showcase them to the world because we're getting such good bands out of here.
Well, and dude, being from Santa Cruz, I love seeing everything Drain has pulled off, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, back in the day, we had like Good Riddance that put us on the map, you know, and then it was like Taste of Blood and Arsonist, you know, and then, oh, the guitar player from Animosity lives in Santa Cruz. You know what I mean? And then now it's fucking Drain. And I love that, man. Like, and then, you know, way back in the day, it was Blast back in like the before times, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's awesome. So I actually haven't listened to Extinguish yet. I have not checked them out. I need to.
Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. Like I don't want to say new kids because they've been in the scene for a while now, but like they're
is it a new band?
Yeah, I'd consider. I mean, I guess you can consider them new, but they're putting out some new stuff soon, and it's fire.
Tight. I'll check that out.
Spy especially too. Spy's a great band that I love. Good friends of mine too. Just great music.
Yeah, sick. Well, excellent. Well, that's good. I'm really glad. I knew you'd have good answers for that question. Okay, what is your favorite food?
French fries, especially yours.
Motherfucker, dude. I knew I shouldn't ask you that fucking goddamn question.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite chore food? Like something you can't get at home?
Something I can't get at home.
Which I know is tough because it's pretty diverse here in the Bay.
Yeah, especially it's diverse for us too because like more than half our band is vegan. So we're always going to vegan spots and going to new places. It's not usually like the same old, and we're big on that. Even though like I might not like some of the vegan spots we go to, like I understand that they have like needs and stuff that they need to eat. Yeah. But I mean like going down south to like get Cane's or Whataburger was always great. Yeah, and is it it's Steak and Shake I think in Texas. Yeah, like going there and getting like a big ass meal for under $5.
Yo, did you know they put a Steak and Shake in Campbell?
I heard something about it. I don't even know if it's there anymore or if it still is. I heard something about it, and I heard like a Cane's is coming to Berkeley as well too.
Yeah, Cane's. Well, see, the thing is, nothing matters in Berkeley because Smokes is in Berkeley. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't even know what that is.
So Smokes is like, you know, when you think about America, you think about like Wendy's or McDonald's. You know what I mean, or Taco Bell. You know, so Smokes is just Canadian poutine, but it's like 40 different flavors.
Oh.
So it's like it's like the big poutine chain in Canada, and now there's like a few in America, and they opened one in Berkeley.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Steak and Shake, search nearby.
Yeah, poutine is also very good. Going out to Vancouver and having poutine was probably one of my favorites.
Dude, there's just something about poutine in Canada. Nothing beats that. Like, I don't know why or where or how.
I don't think I've ever had poutine in America, and I don't think I ever will.
Smokes, if next time you play Berkeley.
Okay, maybe.
I would, dude, trust me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Would I steer you wrong about food, Andy?
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you ever could.
Yeah, so the Steak and Shake is open. It's 211 South 9th Street, San Jose.
Maybe I'll try it. Why not? I'll go out.
Yeah.
I still have yet to try what is it? Shake Shack? Is it Shake Shack or no? What's the other one?
Yeah, it's Shake Shack. I'm in there either.
Yeah. I had never tried it, never been there.
I personally, the thing I miss the most is the fucking Waffle House, man.
Oh, how did I almost forget about that? Going to Texas and having Waffle House was probably the best. Wow.
Dude, there's just nothing.
Can I change my answer now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Waffle House. Thank you for reminding me because it is Waffle House.
You're the guest on the show, dude.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer. This is my final answer. Waffle House.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So now we got a couple hot seat questions. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
In-N-Out or Whataburger?
In-N-Out.
I knew that was the answer.
Just hands down, you can't beat it.
Have you guys toured the East Coast enough to I don't know if you're going to understand this question.
Okay.
Sheets or Wawa?
We haven't had any. We haven't been to any.
So your answer is Buc-ee's then. Tight. Great answer. Okay. That's pretty much it. Before we do the final question, there's always an exit question, which is the heaviest question of the show.
Yeah.
What's up with No Right? How can everybody find the band online? Like the socials, or like I think you guys prefer that people check out your Bandcamp, right?
Yeah, well, so we're on Spotify. We're on all the major streaming services. We're on there. You could check us out on Instagram or Twitter. Like, we have all the social media stuff too. But like you can listen to both our EPs on all major streaming sites. Just look up No Right.
Tight. And then I know the Instagram is X No Right X.
Yeah.
I
think so. I think it's X No Right.
Most of the pages have an X in it somewhere. I'll have all the links to Andy's band in the description down below, just so everyone knows. Yeah. Okay. What are you guys most looking forward to other than shows coming back? Like, are you working on new music right now?
Yeah. So obviously during COVID, it's been like kind of a huge break. It's kind of different for bands because either like bands have been like working on stuff or they've been kind of taking a break. It's cool to see all the bands like putting out new music still right now. But I think we took a little break. We have been writing songs though. We're kind of moving slowly. We're all just kind of vibing and doing our own thing too.
Good. Tight. Okay. Are you ready for the last question, Andy?
Yeah, bring it.
I think this one's going to be hard for you.
Okay.
But I've actually learned stuff about you on this episode, which is why I love doing this show. Because like I've had people live on this. I mean, how long have we known each other? 11, 12 years, you know?
Yeah, something like that.
And I'm like, I learned stuff about you already, and I haven't even asked you the hard question yet.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I've been scared this whole time you've been asking questions, so now I'm really nervous.
Okay, so and I'm not implying that you're one of these people, but a lot of times, I have people on the show that are in like way bigger, like huge bands.
Yeah.
Or like some people have personas on the internet. Like, that I used to be a lot more of like, I cared more about like my persona and how I was perceived.
Yeah.
Than like letting people actually get to know me. And in my recent years, I've let people actually get to know me and realize that it's not just Joel from Pinup. Like, I'm a fucking person. I'm funny. I'm good to hang out with. I mean well, even though I come off like a fucking jackass sometimes, like, so, one thing that I know a lot of musicians struggle with for a myriad of reasons is pulling back the veil, so to speak. So like, what is something about you, whether it's a hobby, a personality trait, or like a personal characteristic that you wish more people knew about you that's not easy to know about you just from following you on the internet or hanging out with you at a show?
Oh, wow. That's kind of a hard one because I'm very I guess I could say I'm very public about my life.
Yeah, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You've always been good about that.
Yeah, I'm very about that, and like, I mean, I'm very focused on like two things, and that's, or like three things, I guess, and that's like work, music, and then cars.
Yeah,
like a big thing for me is cars. Like, if you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, like that's a lot of what I post.
Yeah,
just cars.
It is.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't really know. What else can I say? I mean, I'm very like driven, and I'm very I'm not good at focusing on like multiple things at once, I guess. I'm very
so you have a high level of like dedication?
Yeah, I have a high level of dedication, but like it's always like on one thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I'll focus on one thing, like what, and then I'm able to like focus on the next.
Okay. That's tight.
Yeah.
I respect that. Like I said, I wasn't sure what you were going to say. I've been waiting all day to ask you this question.
I didn't even know either. That was that is still a tough one that I'm trying to think about.
Well, not everybody. So like, when people check out the shows, like they don't always wait till the end. So most people, I get to catch like 90% of my guests off guard with that question.
Yeah.
So it's tight. Like me, for example, like everyone's probably going to turn the show off right now because they've all heard me say this. Oh boy. But like, one of my things is I love to read. You know, like there's a bookshelf behind me is all, whether it's Star Wars books, Lord of the Rings books, whatever. Mm-hmm. I've read it all. Like as a kid growing up, I was that nerd. Like, it wasn't comic books. I read fucking books, like thick ass books. You know what I mean? So And I wish more people do that about me because everyone just assumes I'm some like big drunk, bad grammar having like silly, just internet idiot. You know what I mean? Which I mean, I am all those things. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not as I guess I'm not as dumb as I look. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I look pretty dumb with this eye patch on right now. But
I don't think that. But I think it's obviously it's all about like what you put yourself up as, especially online. Because like obviously you are like a very big like a lot like you and me, like we know a lot of people through social media, and that's how we keep in contact with people too.
Exactly.
Knowing people from like other states. Like I have some great friends in the Pacific Northwest, up in Vancouver, up in Calgary, and like Washington, and they don't get to see me ever. So like and us showing ourselves on social media, like for me, it's important to show myself and who I actually am on social media.
Yeah,
I don't want to show myself as somewhat different. Whether I might joke about it a lot on there, but I try to show who I am and like what I'm about.
Yeah, which is I wish more people did that. Like for a while, I know I had the really bad problem of I was always like, I'm Joel from Pinup. Like we only put on good shows. All of our shows are packed. Like. I'm the guy you want to be friends with, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, I don't know what happened, but, like, I definitely had some friends to kind of help me wake up. And, like, I've had some crazy shit that's happened in my personal life to kind of help me, like, readjust my priorities. And now I'm like, I want everybody to know me, and I want to let my work speak for itself, and now that's how I am now. And I'm very glad I'm the way I am now because the way I used to be was kind of shitty. Like, I understand why some people didn't get to know me, but I also didn't put the real me on the internet. It was always about, like, support what I do, support what I am, like I'm so cool. And like, I'm not cool. I fucking suck. You know this, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, I'm fun to hang out with, but I'm not like that tight, So like I'm tight, but I'm not that tight, like we have some friends that like Adrian is fucking way tight. You know what I mean?
He's fucking sick.
He's exactly. And I'm like, I'm all right. I know that it's okay. I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
I'm way better when my superpowers unlock like tequila. You know what I mean? But like, that's not the point, So, all right, dude. Well, that was it. I don't have any other questions for you. I thought I had one more, but it left my brain because we started talking about other shit. Yeah. Which is a very typical Joel thing. So, classic.
I mean, I think it's just classic for you and me. I always go off on tangents.
Yeah. We're both like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Huh? Is this on? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, Andy. Hello.
All right. You're getting a little old man there, right there.
Boomer Joel, he makes the appearance sometimes. Yeah. All right, Andy, thank you so much for joining me, my friend. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Everybody at home, follow Andy on social media. It's at Andrew Haut. I'll have it in the links down below. Don't even worry about it. Thanks for watching. Check out Andy's band No Right, especially him, Sierra, Toshio. Everybody are real fucking good people. Some of my favorite like people to work with and be around. They also make really sick merch. Very sick. Again, I'll have the band links and Andy's links in the bottom of the episode of the show. Please make sure you subscribe if you're still watching on YouTube. Click that button. Andy, just so you know, I do also put this out in podcast format, so it's like just audio stuff.
Yeah.
So
no one has to look at me. That's perfect.
Or me.
Yeah.
God, like they definitely don't want to look at me. I know that.
Or me.
I should literally just have like the show be Bowie and then my voice going off because people will probably watch that.
Yeah. Anytime there's a dog in it, I feel like it's just more views.
You're right. Yeah,
I got you.
Hopefully this little dog sticker helps. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I think your thumbnail just needs to be a dog.
It should be you talking to Bowie. That should be the thumbnail. It's just not even me.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have my.
I'll swing by and we'll do like a photo of me and Bowie.
Oh, that'd be like touching snouts. That'd be so cute. I would love that. I would love that. You'd probably love it too. So.
Oh, I would. I would love anything with a Bowie.
I know you haven't gotten to meet her yet because of COVID. So.
I know.
You'll get to. Don't worry.
I'm excited. I want to.
Yeah, she's I don't know where she is. She's wonderful. So. But all right, Andy, thanks so much for being on the show. Everybody, this has been another episode of Joel Cupcake Live, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.